The price for this year's Thanksgiving dinner: a vending machine that grows lettuce, a natural way to lower blood pressure, and a new consumer preferences study that shows the connect and disconnect between retailers and their shoppers. For today, Wednesday, November 10th, 2010. This is Food News Today. Good morning. The holidays are just around the corner, and we can expect the food news over the next few weeks to focus on prices going up. Now, immediately following this live webcast, we continue the discussion. Please share your thoughts and your opinions and pose any questions for our consumer panel that you may have. If you're unable to participate in the chat forum, feel free to email me directly, phil@supermarketguru.com. Food News Today is sponsored by ConAgra Foods, who shares with me the desire to provide the most current, interesting, and unbiased food news. In retail trends this week, Thanksgiving dinner this year will be more expensive. Now, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that food at home prices are up just 1.4% as compared to a year ago. But with wholesale prices continuing to advance in double digits for some commodities, there is a question if this year's Turkey Day will be one of the most expensive in recent decades. According to research from the Food Institute, more than half of the foods traditionally served at the Thanksgiving Day table are more expensive than last year. Prices for tom turkeys at the wholesale level are up almost 33%, and at the average of $1.05 per pound. The reason is simple: the 50% plus increase in the bird's feed. Fresh onions and sweet potatoes are up just over 22%. Dessert will cost more as well. Canned pumpkin prices are up 6% after 2 straight years of poor harvests. Pecan prices are up over 40%, mostly due to China's increased demand for the crop. Now, here's the good news for you celery lovers. The price of celery is down 35%, as are most of the fresh and frozen vegetables. Perhaps this will be the year that many people try a vegetarian Thanksgiving, but in order to save money. According to a study released just this morning by Citi Personal Wealth Management, 45% of Americans expect to spend less than they did last year for the holidays. Up next, technology and food sense comes together. Everyone seems to want more local produce these days. And in Japan, it seems that they've figured out just how to grow produce as close to where everyone lives as possible. And this gives a new definition to the term local. The Chef's Farm is a portable garden vending machine that actually grows produce without any sunlight. That's thanks to 12 40-watt fluorescent bulbs. Just over 7 foot high and 13 foot wide, Chef's Farm can grow 60 heads of lettuce at a time, with a crop cycle of 40 to 48 days. 5 different vegetable crops can be grown at the same time. Now, the garden machines went on sale this past summer in Japan for the U.S. equivalent of $90,000. And while that might seem expensive, Dentsu's invention could offer a solution to urban environments and other food deserts where growing vegetables is often problematic. This concept might be just what we need to add excitement and to empower our children to consume more fruits and vegetables, take their quarters, and get ahead of lettuce. In food and health news this week, a natural solution to lowering blood pressure. In a study presented this past Sunday at the American Dietetic Association's Food and Nutrition Conference in Boston, tomatoes, America's favorite fruit that sometimes winds up acting like a vegetable, proved to offer yet another health benefit. In a session that was sponsored by ConAgra Foods, Dr. Tissa Capagoda of UC Davis and Dr. Penny Chris Etherton of Penn State University reported on the research findings, specifically on canned tomatoes. The research was conducted on behalf of the Tomato Products Wellness Council, and they found that in a 6-week study, people with high blood pressure who consumed just 2 servings of canned tomato products every day experienced a significant decrease in blood pressure. For example, systolic went from 132 to 115 and diastolic from 86 to 75. One of tomatoes' most well-known phytochemicals, lycopene, was also found to be 2 to 3 times better absorbed in canned tomato products versus raw tomatoes. That finding, according to a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Now, tomatoes also serve as a significant source of vitamin C, fiber, and potassium. And in fact, they contain more than twice the potassium of bananas, potatoes, milk, and orange juice. Well, get ready. It's time to look into the minds of shoppers. Do you remember the book Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus? Perhaps our latest consumer panel study should be subtitled, Shoppers Are From California and Food Retailers Are From Iowa. In this research study, Supermarket News, Everyday with Rachel Ray magazine, and SupermarketGuru.com partnered to survey 1,200 consumers and then hundreds of food retailers and wholesalers to see if the two groups could agree on what consumers feel is important about food, health, and the shopping experience. The top line is that while industry has a broad understanding of how consumers shop and plan, there are certainly gaps. The findings also indicate that consumers may be starting to adapt to the economic condition and they're adjusting their priorities accordingly, and that perhaps faster than retailers actually understand. While 80% of consumers rank quality as the most important reason for buying a particular brand, just over 63% of retailers said that. Now, retailers take note. More than half of the retailers say that they believe loyalty was the main reason consumers selected a brand, but only 1/5 of consumers agreed with that. Are retailers and consumers on the same page in terms of health? Well, both consumers and retailers cited eating more fruits and vegetables as the #1 initiative consumers are taking to lead healthier lives. But then, shouldn't we wonder why the consumption of fruits and vegetables hasn't increased at all? For the complete survey write-up, just download the PDF under information links right to my left. Food News Today continues the discussion right now with a live chat. Do you have a question or a comment about any of the stories you just heard? Looking for more information? Or would you like to survey our consumer panel? Now's the time. Now, right after our broadcast last week, someone posted a question on YouTube, and they asked, do you know how rising food prices will actually affect the government assistance programs received by families who are signed up for food assistance programs? Well, the reality is that there's no adjustment. The average person gets $101 per month. And also, there are a few states, because of higher food prices on a continuum, that actually have slight increases. But as food prices go up, it'll be interesting to see how consumers dig even deeper beyond using coupons, beyond using shopping lists, and beyond shopping around. Our first question: what was another interesting statistic from the Rachel Ray Supermarket News Supermarket Guru survey? Well, retailers significantly overestimated just how much consumers are buying organic foods as a health measure. Retailers said 59%, consumers said just 31%. Let's go to more questions. Why are produce prices coming down? Well, it seems even though there were late plantings this year and weather conditions, that the crop yield was much higher in price and volume than they normally had. If you've got another question, just type it. And again, don't forget that during the week, use the same password and you could log in to download or watch this broadcast again. For Food News Today, I'm Phil Lempert. Thanks for joining us.